All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right, back with another Consumer Law After Dark. All right, Consumer Law After Dark. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's doing amazing. I hope you are sensational. All right. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. All right. So, why aren't your dispute working? Why? Why is it not working? Why are you not sending out the right letters? Why are you getting the type of responses you're getting from the consumer reporting agencies? Why are creditors or furnishers not responding to your disputes? And why are you letting them get away with it? It's a lot of questions. So we have a lot of questions that we need to answer. All right. Magistrate judge is still actively investigating. In current time, she has not served Experian yet, though. Well, the magistrate of Experian, if anybody's going to serve Experian, it's supposed to be you. You're supposed to get the sheriff or the marshal to serve them or a prosecutor for serving them. The judge's responsibility is to render an impartial judgment based on the facts. Right? So let's definitely get into 1 second. Yes, Kristen. Yeah. Right? So the judge makes their decision based on the case presented to them. So you guys gotta present a good case. Yeah, so let's evaluate the case. Let's evaluate what's going on. Good. So let's see. Suave, you wanna come online, Suave? Because I'm very curious. Because I really want more context. So Suave, Soigne, Suave. Would you like to? Excuse me. Would you like to come online? Because I definitely want to know more about what your like. I want to hear what happened. Talk to me, because what happened? I shot you a DM earlier. Check when you can. All right, my brother. I'll definitely take a Doc Taj. Send me a text message. You don't have my number anymore, bro. Shoot me a text message. My team handles my DMs sometime, so that it may have been overlooked. Shoot me a message. Yo, King, what's going on, bro? What's up, boss? How you, man? I'm doing amazing, man. Getting over a cold. But it's all good. You know me. I got me some cold medicine. You know me. I ain't playing, bro. I will not. Can't hold you down forever. Now, where there's a will, there's a way. I will get better. So talk to me. What happened? So I don't know if you remember, but we had spoke before. This is when I first filed, which was back in January. I seen on the CFPB website that Experian was actually getting sued. Before I submitted my civil complaint, they was getting sued as well. I think 3 or 4 days after I filed mine. I did send, like you said, 3 rounds. I sent it 3 times to them. The first 2 times I sent it, I got it notarized. The third time I sent it to them, I got it notarized. But this time I also sent one to the judge, hoping that I could pump fake, maybe send it to them twice. They might just settle right then and there. But they sent me my thing was verified, as you said. The third time I sent I notarized and sent the certified mail to them, and I sent a certified copy to the judge as well with the filed lawsuit.
All right, so let's start over. So you did 3 rounds of dispute, correct?
Correct.
Tell me about the first round. What was the first round addressing?
The first round was addressing 15 USC 1681B. It was addressing 15 USC 1681 S2.
Okay, so if we're talking about B, we're talking about permissible purpose.
Correct.
Permissible purpose for what?
For inquiries, that's a shit ton of inquiries that's on my consumer report. Really, that's the only thing that's on my consumer report affecting me is I have charged off accounts as well. I have a charged off account on there. That's really the only 2 that's on there that's stopping me from paying credit, honestly. It's mainly those inquiries.
All right, so when we're talking about the inquiries, what was your round 1 addressing? It's about inquiries, yes, but give me the context of what the round 1 was about, because the context matters.
It was addressing how I know that because I was incarcerated in 2022. Mm-hmm. When I came home, I know that I did not apply for any credit. I didn't apply for any kind of loan, none of that. So I had no credit history. When I applied, I only had 1 credit card in mind. It was Discover It. I told Discover It. I know that Discover It denied me. I also know that a week later, I got an offer from Credit One, a place I've never heard of before, but I know that they're used to dealing with subprime lenders. Mm-hmm. I wrote in the letter that they pretty much sold my information to Discover.
Which they did.
Discover denied me. Discover sold my information to Credit One.
Well, not necessarily. So, a thing called a hard pull and a soft pull, right?
Correct.
All right. So, a hard pull affection there says that the consumer has applied. So, it can affect you up to 55 points. Now, there's a thing called a soft pull, a sham. This is where the consumer reporting agencies literally they sell your information. However, it does not have a negative effect on you, because this is where they are soliciting your information, selling it to other furnishers or creditors, but it will not affect your credit profile as what is called inquiry. And this is where you'll get like in the mail, like, oh, you've been approved for this credit card, and you're like, I never applied for this thing. But
exactly,
that's where those comes from, the soft pull. So if you go to the bottom of your credit report, you're gonna see soft inquiries, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of companies. Some of them you don't even know sell your information. Yes, they do, but it does not affect the FICO credit score or the profile itself. What it does is it gives people access to your report without your permission. Yes, so it is a 1681B2 violation. It is.
Okay.
So stuff like that. So even though a soft pull doesn't physically affect the report, where it could lead to a denial, only the hard ones do. It's still access without a permissible purpose.
Okay. So as far as the hard ones goes, because me interpreting the law, correct me if I'm wrong, me interpreting the law 15 USC, it says with the written permission, which means Google Chrome, over the telephone, Safari web browser is when these laws were created. It was written instruction. So with them not,
this is why you ask for proof. So this is where your disputes come in. So this is why I state that the dispute must be bulletproof, right? Proof dispute strategy. What you need to do is, okay, you identify the list of inquiries for that particular consumer reporting agency is proof that you gave permission to these entities to pull your report. Right. So for each pull, the has to be certified, meaning that the furnisher or the creditor who's asking to pull your report from the consumer reporting agency must send a certification that I am pulling the report. Let's say that it's for an auto loan, right?
Right.
It's being pulled for an auto loan consideration. So the reason for the pull must be specific. So you can't pull for an auto loan and then go say, hey, bro, do that. Right. The pull has to be specific. So one, you're identifying all the inquiries, yes?
Correct.
And then you are asking for proof because you're going to state that the inquiries that are being furnished, well, if you didn't do these inquiries, one, you could be a victim of identity theft, or two, someone pulled your information without your knowledge. So this is where you either one, go at it from an identity theft point of view if you legitimately did not make those inquiries, or two, you ask for the proof that they have permission and what permission certified them pulling the report, and for what purpose was it produced for, meaning for what purpose did they furnish your report to Capital One, to Wells Fargo, to Bank of America. They have to have those on record. So when you ask for that in your round one, your response for round one should be supplying that proof.
Which they didn't. I asked for the document of permissible purpose. I asked to send me a copy, honestly. Just send me a copy or the original copy. Prior to me actually even sending the letter, I called them. Two of them tried TransUnion, the head security lady department. She didn't bullshit me. I give her the benefit of the doubt. She straight up told me that she doesn't have that document. And I just ended the call right then and there.
She said that you should have recorded that conversation to add to your exhibit. That's one. Number two, okay, so now we know they don't have it. So you can either go straight now to small claims. Small claims first is if you go for a large amount, let's say you're going for 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, they're going to take that to federal court. Like their best lawyers are going to be on top of that. So what I've noticed is keep it one dispute at a time so I can maximize on volume. But the minute you start going for a high amount, we're now talking, or in civil, they're going to move it because they get a lot of wins in federal, because it's not the fact that you have a great case. They will beat you at procedure. They'll kick your butt at procedure. It don't matter if your case is good. It don't matter. They, like, if you do something out of turn, they're going to request that the case be dismissed because you didn't do X, Y, Z. Like that's how they roll. So when you keep it in the small claims amount, it's not their best attorney that's on it, because their best attorney is going to be charging them more than what the small claims amount is. So they'll put somebody else on. You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
That's what I've learned based on my experience doing it. They threw their best attorneys at me in federal, but when I went to small claims, I noticed that the representative that they're using ain't that savvy. So in Georgia, small claims is 15,000. I'm keeping it now at 15,000 and below, but I'm doing multiple 15,000.
Right. I went for the gusto, man. So yeah. That's all I've been thinking about lately. It's the only thing I've been at work. That's the only thing I think about is just hopefully, man, I get some good news with them. But
it's not hopefully. You got to make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. So your round one should be identifying the inaccurate information, right? So once you've identified the inaccurate information, your round two, well, you have to wait for their response. So if they don't respond, there's a procedure for that. If they respond, there's also a procedure for that. So it's how they respond or lack of response. Then once you do that, now you go into your round two, which addresses what? So let's say, for example, they responded verified, validated, accurate, right? Then for a verified, validated, accurate, because there's a certain response you have to give now. Once the furnisher or the respond with verified, validated, accurate, and now they got 15 days to respond. There's a dispute strategy for that. And if they did not reply or comply within that 15-day time period, then now you know it's off the small claims. So round 3 would be that pre-demand or notice of intent to sue, along with a statement of claim that you had filed in magistrate court, showing them that, hey, I'm serious. So this is where normally settling outside a court comes in, or that negotiation.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So if honestly, the second letter, what I guess what the third letter was supposed to be was my second letter. The second letter was a reiteration of the first letter, demanding, pretty much demand. I didn't ask them, demanding to see a document of permissible purpose. Also stating that if they did not send a document of permissible purpose, my next dispute will be with a civil complaint 18 and under Title 15.
So under Title 18, what would you go after them for under Title 18?
I got them for aggravated identity theft.
1028A.
1028A and just 1028 identification documents. Shipping off my social security number, my ID, my name, my address to these companies who wants to offer me a line of credit that I didn't apply for.
Okay. All right. So now it's just building. And guys, this is why I really recommend the Connoisseur program. Like this program, like we really dive into the court procedures, case laws. If we're talking about, we're gonna go sue portfolio, where we're looking at portfolio case laws, like we really dive into it, man. And this 5-day challenge coming up, I hope I see you on the 5-day challenge, bro, because I'm telling you, like this main course.
Yeah.
There's a lot we go into. There's a lot I go into. Like the dispute strategy is absolute. And once you follow the right blueprint for it's so easy for you to win.
I wait to learn more, but definitely
Let's go, bro.
I'm gonna get in. I want to sue big court, big tech for this, man. I
Yep.
know they selling my data too.
Let's go, man. Let's go. It sounds like you have a legitimate case of identity theft. So that's the route I would go first, because if you weren't here when these lines of credit were being applied for, I would really put these with the FTC affidavit, get the identity theft report going, and submitting those claims. Because if you are legitimately a victim of identity theft, you need to use that part. All right?
Correct. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem, broski. No problem at all.
All right, boss. Thank you, man.
All right. No problemo. All right. I hope I see you on the challenge. All right. For those of you that want to be a part of the challenge, guys, drop or comment the word challenge. If you would like to be a part of the 5-day challenge coming up, drop the word challenge. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, I literally just dropped the link. I'm going to drop it again. You guys can click on it, go check out. In May, I believe May 10th, it's going to be an amazing experience. All right, so someone on YouTube wanted to come live, so I'm going to drop the link, and I'm going to, so for those of you on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and you'd like to come live and ask a question, I just dropped the link, guys. You can definitely hit that link and get in queue. I'm going to drop the link one more time for the challenge for those of you on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I'm going to drop the link one more time for those of you commenting the word challenge. All right? So back to the dispute process now, guys. Like I was saying, the dispute process is absolute. It is important that, oh, sounds like I got somebody that wants to join me on the live. Let's see what's going on. All right, who do I have? ABBEM. Abem. Can you hear me? Audio check, ABBEM.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? Nothing much. Just getting into credit. I messed up my credit 18. I just used a credit card, never paid it back, went to collections, learned the dispute through you, got it off. Now I'm banking with Navy Federal, but I'm wondering how to expand my business line of credit with them. I heard, they offer a business credit card with it doesn't report on your business side or personal side, so you can utilize it as much as you can. But I'm just not sure what should I really do with it, like in investing, because there's so many limits on the credit card.
Mhm. All right. So when it comes to a credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just get credit to get it. Let's talk about what are the ways can you use that credit card or that line of credit to facilitate a new stream of almost passive income, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that you got a $15,000 approval, right? Let's say that you got a fifteen
Mm-hmm.
thousand dollar line of credit or approval. Well, okay, what if you're in a city where there's a lot of attraction, basketball, football, college, like whatever it is, and you figure based on your research that Airbnb would do great, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could get a rental, a
Just with the
short-term
card.
rental, and then just Airbnb it out, and the monies that you got from the credit card you can use for your security deposit and to furnish the joint.
Okay.
1 second. Yeah. Hmm? Take them out now. Take them out. They take out already. They take them out before you go, but they take them out exactly as they ready for going. They never take out for early, so they tough. They can't put up.
Let me call you back.
And your rice finish all your face.
So you think the Airbnb rentals is the one of the things a young investor should do? I'm young age at 20.
Yeah, so when you start early, you finish early, right? And
Mm-hmm.
starting early means this. Okay, if I what things can I do? Like that's how I want you to think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What can
That's
I
how.
do right now that can add more to so am I in a city with Airbnbs? Is Airbnb, do we get a lot of tourists? Is there a lot of traction? Where are the people visiting? Or let's say that I'm going to look in other states then, right? Maybe a Miami, a Georgia, an Atlanta, a New York. Like find ways that you can produce value for someone, and when that value that you produce is greater than what the person is holding on to, that money, they will exchange it for you. So if it's an area within 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes from a very busy popular area, you are able to maximize on the traffic. Like for example, look at New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans, right? New Orleans is very festive. There's a lot of in and around those festive
Yeah.
areas. Well, if you were to get an apartment and do a short-term rental, that could be pretty fruitful.
Mm-hmm. But I'm also looking at like,
Where a lot of people rent
yeah, I'm
cars,
in a populated city, California, Bay Area to be
right?
exact. Mm-hmm.
It was a little broken a while ago. Could you say that again?
Yeah, I'm in a populated city like San Francisco area, Bay Area, California.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think short-term rentals would do really great there. So get your credit right so you can start get a few apartments and list them as short-term rentals,
This is
a
the thing
somewhat
too.
semi-passive income.
Okay, I hear you.
Don't use the lines of credit for liabilities. Use it to gain
Yeah,
asset and
asset.
cash flow.
Yes, sir.
Because
I know.
at the
I
end of the
listened to you.
day, if if the thing that you bought with the credit card cannot pay the credit card back, it's not a great buy. It wasn't
Yeah.
a good spend.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right?
Yeah, I got you. I heard that. Appreciate that.
Yep, most definitely. Anytime, bro. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Shout out to ABBEM. All right, who do we got on Instagram? Who wants to come live, guys? Remember, we're talking about why your disputes aren't working. We're here. Let's discuss it. Because outside of here, guys, I promise you, it costs a lot to speak with me. I'm not going to hide it. The best is not the cheapest. The cheapest is not the best. So now we have an opportunity. Give me what you got. What would you like to know about the dispute process, whether for yourself or your client? Let's dive into it. There's a request on Instagram. All right, let me accept this request. Let's dive into it. And remember, guys, the 5-day challenge is coming up. So for those of you that wants to be a part of the Credit and Wealth Mastery Challenge, all you got to do is comment the word challenge in the chat. If you're on Instagram, you'll get a link inside of your DM. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, I literally just dropped the link in the chat. All right, who's on the line? Talk to me. What's your name, where you're calling from, and what is your issue? Talk to me.
My name is Corey. I'm calling from Columbus, Georgia, man.
Could you speak a little bit louder, please? Audio. Okay, let's get it.
Okay, great. Story. I'm from Columbus, Georgia. My problem, Rain, man. Okay, so all right, so this is going on, man. I've been using Metro.
I'm not hearing you. We lost the audio. The last thing I heard was you've been using Metro, and then it cut out.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yep, loud and clear. Talk to me.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been using Metro 2 since December 23rd, 2023. Right. So I'm not gonna lie, I've had I've had like partial success with it, and with certain deletions and things of that nature. But now I'm just, I can pretty much see now that I'm gonna I'm gonna have to go towards consumer law to get these last 2 to 3 derogatories off my consumer report, which would be I think I have 2 collections that I need to get, two. They're all closed accounts, but 2 collections that I need gone, and also a few deemed this, I just like I said, I don't really have a lot of derogatory. I really have 3 or 4 things I just need to get off completely, and then I can go ahead and, because I've been building while I'm trying to clean it, but I've been kind of at a standstill these last I want to say 6 or 7 months. And so I'm on the I want a template and whatnot, purchase your templates and whatnot to see if I can get these get these corrected and get these off, and also get on one of, I want to say it's Experian. No, it's TransUnion. Everything else, I ain't gonna lie, Metro 2, it also helped with the late payments and whatnot going to 100%. But I want to say it's not Experience, TransUnion. I want to say they have me at an 89%, late payment rate. So, but other than that, I'm just trying to get those few things off, man. I just want to know what's the quickest and the most efficient way to go ahead and go about that. It just say if I want to do it start tonight and send some letters off tomorrow.
Okay, so if you still have late payments, you want to use the late payment laws, right? The late payment deletion guide. Why? Not only does it teach you how to do it the right way, but it also gives you an opportunity to sue them and get a bag for their negligence. So when it comes to Metro 2, can you remember what your Metro 2 late payment letter said?
It's don't get me wrong. I actually do read. I actually try to read the letters that they're printing out, and they're just. They're using certain laws, but it's not. I can't really just. I'm not really sure exactly what it's saying, but it's using an algorithm type of code.
Because it's it's kind of opaque. It's obscene. You can't really follow what it's saying. Right. So that's the difference between consumer law and Metro 2. When we come to Metro 2, yes, Metro 2 has become very popular, right? However, when it comes to you learning what Metro 2 is all about. There is nothing to learn because the language, it is so hard to comprehend the language, it makes no sense. Right? And saying it makes no sense, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It does work, but I like to know what I'm doing because at the end of the day, my end goal is to sue. I want to back. Ain't nobody safe. That's my strategy. So that's why I don't teach a Metro 2 strategy because what are you going to argue in court regarding Metro 2?
Right.
Like really think about it. Like if y'all have really read a Metro 2 letter, like you'll see that the letter makes absolutely no sense.
Right. It's like a whole type of different coding, with certain verbiage and things of that nature. I'm like, like whoa, but I mean, I just kind of that's kind of what I've been had. That's why how I started off. So I was kind of going with it, but I've just noticed within like the last 6 to 7 months, like there's been no progression when it comes to getting these few things deleted. Like there's only like three or four things is keeping me from just going up.
So when it comes to the late payment now, so you want to use type the word late payment in the chat. If you type the word late payment in the chat, a link should go into your DM with the late payment deletion guide. When you read those dispute letters, you are going to see that the late payment deletion guide is absolutely specific as to what it's asking the furnisher or the CRA to produce. Now, the most you're going to go is 2 rounds because round 1, they must answer your round 1, and then you may have to send a corresponding response. Round 3 is the maximum. At round 3, we're talking about your pre-demand letter, your notice of intent to sue, right? These are the things that's happening now in round 3. I'm not going to go no round 4, 5, or 6. Complete waste of time. I've given you round 1. Well, it depends, and there's no such thing as a credit bureau. It all depends on who you're disputing with, because you're not only disputing with each CRA, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, you're also disputing with the furnisher because the furnisher supplies the inaccurate information to the consumer reporting agency. So when a consumer reporting agency asks for validation or verification of the information, it's that company, the furnisher, that tells them that it's accurate or validated. So what you need to press them, like you need to give them a check. And when I say a check, I don't mean money. I mean you need to punch one of them in the throat and let them know, hey, you cannot furnish these items on my credit. 1, without giving the proper disclosures and notices, and 2, it being within the right statute of limitations, and 3, that they have any legal grounds to do anything. So you want to get to a point where you're asking and you're demanding proof, and if they can provide it to you, it makes it an easy alley hoop for you to win in court.
Right, gotcha. And on the templates, like, do I just? Just like I said, this would be my first time using, actual, consumer law. So it's not AI. So I'm like, so how easy? You do it every day, so I know it's easy to you. But like to the simple person who was just now starting out the consumer law, how easy would it does the template allow me to?
All right, so the templates are plug and play. You just fill in your information. The only requirement is that you read and comprehend what you're sending out. You know what you're supposed to receive. Anything outside of what you're supposed to receive is a violation, because we're very specific as to what that particular law requires, admitted to substantiate whatever is being reported on your credit.
Okay, gotcha. And what about those collections and whatnot?
Yeah, those now we're going to deal with on an individual basis, because we also want to maximize on the amount of lawsuit that we can tie under our belt.
Okay, so I can send out like you also have like a collections template as well.
Mm-hmm. Every single item that you can think of for a dispute, I have created a letter for it. I don't like, okay, randomly. Just give me something randomly. Just give me something.
Okay, I had this one. It's from like a payday. It's like a payday loan company here, and where I'm from.
And what status? What status? Collections, charge off. What status?
I want to say that one's in collections.
Okay, so if we're talking about collections, the first thing we need to know is the account on your credit?
Yeah.
There's a list of things that we need to know, like 31st, 2021.
Should be before, because all of those are on there beforehand.
So knowing that it's before, we cannot use the known parking note. So we have to use other strategies like now the notice or validations of debt. So based on the interaction, that will determine what your strategy or your approach will be.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah. So I'll dive into more details on the challenge. So I do hope I see you on the word challenge. Huh?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, just comment the word challenge and I'll send a link to your DM.
Okay, all right. Appreciate that, Dorian, man.
Yeah, anytime, bro. Anytime, no problem.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right. So what I was saying earlier now, ladies and gentlemen, like knowing the right dispute process or what to put in your dispute is tremendously important. Like it's so important because your round 1, round 2, round 3 kind of sets up that debt collector, that creditor, or that CRA. It sets them up for you to win. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be hopping off. Those of you that your ticket to the 5-day challenge, ladies and gentlemen, 8 that time. I'm going to drop the link one more time for YouTube. All right, I'm going to drop that link. I dropped the link. Is Okay, here we go. And then once we drop that link, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you guys to get it. All right, let's see. I got 2 more questions before I go. If I cannot pay my credit, don't advise to file bankruptcy. So, guys, bankruptcy is not the end of the world. Bankruptcy is actually, it gives you a unique opportunity to restart, regroup, and put your priorities straight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with filing a bankruptcy. Please do not be ashamed. If you are handling more that you can withstand and you see that that is your best option, this is not financial advice, but go ahead and do a reset. All right? Do a reset. So, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be secured your ticket to the challenge. I recommend you do so now. I just dropped the link inside of Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Sure, IO that just joined. I'm glad you joined. What we can do for here is you guys on Instagram just comment the word challenge. Just comment the word challenge and a link will be sent to your DM. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing, I think we've been on here 1 hour. So I will see you guys later. I'll talk to you guys later. There's a lot we have to discuss as it pertains to the dispute strategy and really finding our way in having better credit, having more abundance, having a better life, a better quality of life. It's very important that you do. So peace from your boy. I am out. Have an amazing night, ladies and gentlemen.